Hello, hello. So this video is brought to you by Gina. Thank you, Gina, for your interest in how I organize. So if you're in a small space, which I am in a small space, I do have an option for a bigger space. If I really pushed, I could probably get it. But I've decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make my small space work because if you get a bigger space, you just get more stuff. And I'm on a kick to either use it or lose it. And most of the time, I just can't find it. I usually make like a lot of these either from my computer or I have stamps. And when I get going and I want to make my sentiments, I do a bunch. I do a bunch at the same time. So when I get ready to go make my hot cocoa packs or my little Reese's peanut butter cup packs and stuff for my craft shows, I can just dig it out. Problem is, it gets tucked away and then I don't know where it's at. And then I go make more. Hence, we have all of that. So I'm on an organizing kick and I'm on a how can I keep it where I can see it, I don't have to dig for it, and I know exactly what's in there. So this is only one of many little organizing systems that I have. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to just transform something you already have, or maybe you have friends that have bought holiday cards and they have the vellum or the, I don't know what they call this, like acetate. I could make these, but you know, people just throw them away. And I'm big on recycling, reuse, repurpose, refurbish, just it, okay? Don't throw it away if you don't have to. So what I did, because originally I had all of these, which they were busting out, so I didn't even have all of them in my little Altoid containers, which I do have a system for this as well. And it works really well. But for Christmas stuff, it's not something I keep out all year. But every once in a while, it's like, okay, I'm gonna start working on some hot cocoa packs, or I'm gonna start working on something. I want my stuff. And so I have it in a place in bins in my house where I can go get that. But I like these clear containers where I can be like, that's exactly what I was looking for. So all I did was I took my container and I just took scrap paper. So I have lots of this paper and I've used it for projects, but I have a lot that was gifted to me, someone who was clearing out their store and they just didn't need the paper anymore. And so I said, yeah, I'll take it. Well, now I use it a lot for organizing because I'm not going to use it anymore. You get bored with it after a while, so you want something new. So basically, this is what I did. I took my paper, and I didn't care if I cut that little end off. Usually you have to get it into your cutting machine, your trimmer, because this is more than 12 inches. So I think it's 12 and a half. Yeah, that would be a 12 and a half inch. And I just took my box and my ruler, and I went, okay, this needs to be about 7.5 inches long, which I think this one was a little, no, I guess it was 7.5 inches long. And so I just started with the long part. I'm like, it really wasn't a big science. I'm like, well, I don't have to really be too intricate with this. I just need these to separate my stuff. If I was going to do it professional for someone else, of course, I'd make sure everything was perfect. And then I took my width and I'm like, okay, I need a 5 by a 7.5 piece. So I just cut down my 5. I left this 12. Okay. Then I took my scoreboard, and on the first one, I realized I started out with 3/4 of an inch, and I realized I could make it 1, no problem. And just to make it easy on myself, I went, okay, here's going to be my side, and I just folded it up, and I went, okay, it's 7.5, so, or was it 7? It was 7.5, so it needs to be 3 1/4 in the middle, right? 3 1/4. So I went 3 1/4 in the middle. I know I can do an inch because this is an inch, and I'm going to just go over to 4 1/4, and that's going to be my mountain basically. And then I'm going to go over to 5 1/4, and that's going to be the other side of my mountain, and you're going to see that in a minute. Then I just folded it up. Make it easy on yourself. I folded it up, and I went over here to 3 and what did I say? 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, and then I'm going to do another 1 inch on this side, so 4 1/4, and I just basically scored that because that's where I'm going to be cutting that off. Or you can fold it over. I did do that on the one side, but it's not necessary. So once I did that, I just cut off that excess piece I didn't need. And you're going to have to do these measurements to the box that you might be using. I like the clear ones. Like I said, I can look right in and see what I have, and I don't have to open everything up. And then I basically folded this way. I folded that middle score this way, and that's how I got my mountain. Okay? And then I just folded this in, and now I did fall a little short here, and yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it's not really a big deal. What I'm going to do is, let's see, what do we got here? I'd say that's at least, it looks like about almost an inch, but we're going to say about, yeah, it looks like about an inch there. So what I'm going to do is just lay that flat. So yeah, my measurements weren't great, so don't follow my measurements, but I must have done the same thing on this one because I have a bigger side and a smaller, which is not a big deal because sometimes I have bigger pieces, so I'm okay with that. Then I took another piece and I measured from here to here, which I believe was like 3, once I got it done, it was 3 1/4, and this was 3 1/2. So I just did all my folds same way, measured across, did my folds, and my other one came out a little bit long too. So I'm probably just not accounting for like 1/4 inches or something like that, and I wasn't concerned. I'm like, nah, I don't care. I'll make it work. I'll just tweak it and recut it, and then I'll just make that work. And then I had this side, and the reason I left the sides on these or wanted the sides is I just want to give this a little bit more stability from moving all around. So I did that, and then of course now we ended up with a bigger side. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna find my ruler, and we're gonna say it's approximately, looks like 4 1/2. Well, let's do 4 1/4. So I'm gonna chomp this down to 4 1/4. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's still going to work. And that looks like that's going to be pretty good, pretty snug. And the snugger you get them, the more you keep these sides up, which we're going to be gluing, but it does help keep the sides up. And again, I'm not going to cut that way. I'm going to get my scoreboard out, and I'm going to do it exactly like I did this one. So this one, I scored my 1 inch. I folded it up, and then where did my second score land? 2 1/2. Yep, 2 1/2. 3 1/2. So this ended up a little different. Don't think about the quarters. You have to measure each one. So because it was 5 across. So 2.5, 3.5. That's going to be my mountain. 4.5 is my other side. And then I just folded it up. I need another 2.5 for the other side. 2.5. And then I need that 1 inch little lip that's going to be at the end. And I'm going to just go ahead and trim that score mark off. So this isn't something it has to be exact science. You're going to make it work for whatever system you're working on. So I'm going to go ahead and make that mountain. There's my end. And now you can see this is just going to be a perfect little fit. It is, I promise it is. There we go. Okay. Now the one thing is these kind of, on my other one, they did kind of toss around a little bit. I did end up securing them by adding a little piece of paper that I could glue to the side and then to this side. And then I did another little piece like over top so these wouldn't wiggle around. And this is why I decided to go 1 inch, because when I had put my lid on, my centers were 3/4 of an inch. And so when I do tip my box, which I don't care, I'm not going to worry about, I'm not going to redo it, which is unlike me. But when I tip my box, sometimes they'll feed over into the other one. So in order to stop that, I added that extra 1/4 inch on. So if you want that to be a little bit more steady, now is the time that you would want to put something in there to secure this to this or to this side. And it's super simple. I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to score. And I'll just do 1 inch, and then I'm going to cut it at 2. Sorry, I gotta remember to stay in camera. I'm not a professional here, folks. I just do my best. And then I need another one. So I need another inch. Give them an inch, they take a mile. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to cut that. Let's see. Let me think about this for a second. I'm going to cut that at another inch or thereabouts. And then what you would do before you start to glue this together, and I'm actually going to cut a little bit of this off, because what you would do before you actually put this in is you would slide this in before you do your gluing in here, which I'm going to get to. That way when you put it in here, you now can put these tabs down and stop that from moving. So first of all, I am going to start my gluing and get this glued down. Now on my other one, all of this was kind of coming up and coming apart, and it was really loose in there. So I just undid everything, glued it back together just to make it a little more sturdy. And I'm going to get my glue of your choice. Doesn't have to be your good stuff. Our glitter glue is my good stuff, but it's here, it's near me, and I'm just gonna make it work. And I'm gonna glue that down. I'm not gonna really wait for it. And then I'm going to put glue all around, not a lot. I just want to secure it to the floor of the box. It's not a big deal. And then go ahead and put your floor in. Okay, I guess I'm on this side because I forgot I was not putting that up on the side there. Okay. And then I guess I could get, I think I might need that again. And I just glued this to the side. Like I said, I didn't go crazy, just enough to keep it kind of stable. And I could have done the same thing here, was put that little thing in here to keep this from moving, but because these are going to keep it from moving, these two pieces, I don't have to really worry about that. But I am going to go ahead and do this. So before I glue this down, if I can get my fingers to work, I'm gonna put my little divider thing in there so that, in fact, I'll just glue that in first, then I'll glue the whole thing down. Would probably make more sense. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it make more sense, Laura? Like, why are you fighting it? Don't fight it. Just do it. There we go. And do I want one on that side? Let's see. Do I want one on that side? I don't really think I need one. But I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway, just to keep it sturdy. So I think I'm going to do that. Oh, I get that pin back on that glue. Or I won't be using art glitter glue. I'll be getting that metal tip cleaned out is what I'll be doing. All right, so I'm just going to take my Dollar Tree, I don't know, scoring tool. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, cut it 4. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, it's 8, so. And I'm gonna cut it right here. And I'm making some for the other side while I'm at it. So I'm just going to use these little scrap pieces. Like I said, I don't really care what it looks like inside. It's still going to look fine. And then just put those in there. And like I said, I thought of this after I had done the other one. And I use this sort of the same system when I make my candy boxes. There's little tabs. You don't see them because I cover them up with pretty paper on the inside because I don't like the look of all the scatterness, so I cover them up. But this is used to secure those panels that are inside my my candy boxes. Good enough. Okay, and then I'll just get these all sort of glued down. Okay, now we're ready to put our inserts in. So again, I'm just gonna do the bottoms, just enough to get them tacked down. Now that did give a little more, which, yeah, you know, you get your little 1/16 of an inch that can kind of throw things off, but I'm not going to let it worry me. But got that down in there, and then I just have to make sure I'm going to be able to get this in here. Well, it's going to be a little bit tight, but we're going to make it work. So, all right, I'm going to glue that bottom down. So now I have my little organizer and things that are in little bags all over the place that I can never find. I'll have to cut these down. These I just make up on my computer. Anyone can do it. It's not. Get yourself some cardstock paper and go to your Microsoft Word. Throw in some boxes, some tables, I guess they're called. Put your tables in there and then get your words. I have them in all different fonts that I do. And then I just make the lines invisible so when it prints out, and then I just cut them down and there you go. So I'm going to show you some other pictures of things that I have organized. Oh,